Hello everybody, my name is the Radman, and we are here to a little game called Autonauts. Now, if you haven't heard of this game before, I wouldn't be too surprised. Um, I think that from what I've heard about this game, it's pretty well, if you had to describe it, it's pretty well pre-alpha. At least that's how the devs are comparing it. To most other games is that it's a really pre-alpha. Okay, that was weird. I've never had two pine trees grow so close together that I thought that they were one tree. And so I'll just explain a few of the basics of this game now. Because of how under development this game is, we're probably going to only go till the point where we have nothing left to do, because I don't know, I played enough of this game to know that I do like playing it, but I haven't done enough in it to know, like, how long the game actually goes before it's out of content. Because, like I said, this is a under development game, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start building simple flooring, because simple flooring is what you build basically all the other machines that you produce things on. So I should explain, this game is right now the devs are comparing it to Factorio, and having played it, I can tell you it is a little bit like Factorio, but there are a few minor differences. So the first thing that we're going to need is going to be a bench saw. Okay, no, it's crude bench saw. I always mix that up. It's a crude bench saw because you need metal to make a bench saw. And then we also need a basic workbench. And we're going to see, yeah, okay. I didn't know you could actually fit these in almost one floor. So what we're going to do is, I'll explain. So one aim of this game is to get robots, which are made in a worker assembler. And as you'll notice, I can place down any building I want anywhere I want. I then have to build it, like I place down my flooring. Now if I actually want to be able to build something on it, I have to give it 2 logs. And so I'm just going to really quickly explain a few basic controls of this game. So you have your mouse, which is how you interact with things. So right click will move you, so we'll left click, but if I left click on the stick to pick it up, I can left click to carry it over here. If I right click over here though, he'll walk over and then drop the stick. So left click is pick up / interact, like if you're gonna set a recipe in one of these, they have multiple recipes, and you have to left click it to set the recipe, and then you feed it the items required by right clicking. So that's how that works. And then a few other controls we have is, since I can just move my mouse around, the way you move the camera is the W, A, S, and D keys. And Q is an interesting button, because if I pick up this stick and I turn to face the camera, if I press Q, that goes into my inventory. Now, if I press I, it brings up my inventory. And there is a little glitch in this game right now where you right click to pick something up, and if I left click, it's supposed to put it in, but if you put it in a slot that it can't actually go in, it'll do this where it makes a little goober on your screen. So if I put it somewhere it can actually go, you can see it doesn't make one of those things. But then if I put it back here, it doesn't do it. But this doesn't go away, so I'll probably have to reload the game to get that to go away. And then the last basic control you need to know is E is to open up the this, where all your basic buildings are. And we'll get into what these do in later episodes. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to get our basic workbench and our crude bench saw made. So I'm going to really quickly save the game and reload the game, because I think, will that work? Okay, yeah, okay, that worked actually. I didn't have to cut. I thought I was gonna have to cut. So one thing I should explain about the basics is, if you don't have a crafting table, I'm going to call it that all the time, but what you do is to craft things, you're going to need a stick and a stone, and they're just found lying around. And then you go up to, you pick up either the stick or the stone, go over to the stone or the stick, and you left click on it, and that'll bring up this item, or this menu, and then that's how you make your basic items, like your axes and your shovel. And our goal, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. So, one thing is, you see that we need, let's see, that one doesn't need it, but we need planks to make this bench saw. And the way that you make planks is you come over to a log, left click on it, and that'll chop it. So now if I want to actually pick up my planks, you can see that I just chopped them into poles because I clicked them again. So I need to make more of them because of that. So now what I'm going to do is if I press Q, I'll take the axe out of my hand and I can pick up to 4 planks. Now I personally can't pick up more than 1 log at a time, but robots can actually pick up 2. So when we finally get some robots, which is going to be our goal is going to be build both of these. Oh, I need a stone. There's a stone. And our goal is going to be build both of these and then get to robots as fast as humanly possible, because I hate dealing with trees. They're just a pain in the butt. So now that we have, you know, this little bench saw built, let's see, we need 2 stones for this. Now that we have our bench saw built, oh, forgot that. And this guy, he only takes 1 command at a time, so you do have to walk over to something, right-click it to put the item into it, and then you have to right-click again if you have more than 1 item. I should have mentioned that earlier. But now let's say I need 4 poles. So we already have 2 poles over here, so we'll just come pick up 2 poles. But we actually now, to make the other 2 poles, we don't need to, you know, we don't need to use our axe that we made, because what we can do is if we pick up this plank, and then we left click on our bench saw, we can now make a pole. And so that takes 1 plank, which actually ended up working out good. And then we'll just feed him 2. And so now you can see we have a whole bunch more items. Now the most important ones that I've seen are the shovel and axe, obviously, because you need a shovel and an axe to replant trees. The hoe, scythe, and sickle are used over here with our cereal crops, and we won't be getting into those for a while. And then pickaxes are used to mine. That'll be a little bit too, because we'll want to have all of our wood stuff being automated. And crude gears are part of making robots, so we're gonna have it make crude gears, and then we're gonna, nope, we need a worker assembler. Don't know why I was having such trouble finding it. And I'm going to try and lay out this factory a little smarter than I did my last one, because I didn't lay out my last one very smart or very space efficient. So I think the best way to do it is just, we got to leave a little bit of room around this crop, because if I go and harvest cereal right now, these cows will actually eat it. So you need to build fencing around it. And I haven't messed with that yet, so we'll actually be learning how to do cereal crops later, because that was about the point I was getting to, where that was the main thing left. So you can see I need 2 poles, which actually ends up working great. And then I need 2 logs and 2 planks. And this is where it starts getting interesting, because we are basically trying to race against the resources to see how much we can get done, and see if we can get a little worker made before we have to, you know. Okay, we'll need to come over here to make planks. So make planks. So yeah, we're basically racing against the clock to see how soon we can get a worker out. And now we need a crude gear, which is 1 plank. And there we go. And now we need to feed it 4 planks and 4 poles, so we can get our poles made. So all we'll need to do is chop down 1 more tree. Now normally the way I would, no, keep forgetting, if you right click to pick something up, and then you left click to put it back, and that always confuses me, because I always want to left click to pick it up, right click to like split a stack in half, but I don't think you actually really hold stacks of items in this game. I think each item takes up a separate inventory slot, so bring over this and select planks. And so the way I'd normally do this, by the way, is I would normally make a guy that automatically collects these little tree seeds and then replants them. But for now, at least, we're going to actually set it up so that this guy will chop wood for us. So these guys are actually very interesting. So the way to actually interface with them is you have to press spacebar, and that'll make it so that you can select workers, because normally if you have like 10 of these guys moving around, you don't want to be accidentally clicking on them. So they made it so you have to press spacebar to get them. And then this is his brain, which is his name is Baz, and we can either trade with him or teach him. So we're going to want to teach him first, but before we do that, actually, I need to be holding an axe, because they aren't quite smart enough to realize do an action on a tree if I'm not holding the item. Though, like I said, this is a very early work in progress game. Like, I think version 3, I downloaded this game about 5 days ago, and I think that version 3 came out like 6 days ago. So this is a very new version. But anyway, so you have trade and teach. If we teach him, you can see we get this nice little recording thing. And then we're just going to come chop a pine tree. So we're just telling him, use the item that... So find a pine tree, first of all. Then go to the pine tree that you found and chop it down. Or use held item is basically what he's doing. So we're going to have him repeat forever. And I don't think the repeat button actually does anything. Like, if I click it, like, you can't really select items or anything. But one thing they did is this used to be just a line of the actual raw code as it was writing it. But now it's a nice little blocky thing you can move around the code in. And I don't remember there being sound effects from going between the things, so they might have put out a... I don't know. I don't think that they would have put out a minor update without me noticing. But now you can see, this is one of the most annoying sounds you'll ever hear when you get like 3 robots doing this. And so he's basically saying, crap, I don't know what to do. So we're going to trade with him and give him our axe. There we go. And now he'll start chopping down trees. So now we can start making another worker to collect it. You must be kidding me. I've actually never had that happen where the very first thing I gave him broke right away. So what we're going to do is we're now going to chop up 3 more things, because we need to get shovel guy automatically chopping up the digging up holes for the saplings, because these little, actually they're seeds, not saplings. But, so these guys, they take a little hole in the dirt to make, so we're gonna just do this, make some poles. I made way too many planks. I don't know why I thought I needed that many planks. Okay. Good. And, I do like that you can stack a ton of items on top of each other in this game, and, you'll pick up the one you click on. So let's we need more planks. Or more poles, sorry. And we do need a gear eventually, but what I really wanted was to we're going to make a wooden axe just so that we can give that to him. And then we're going to make a wooden shovel, which is, all the wooden tools are the same recipe, so if you set up one guy feeding the wooden tools, then it'll just make whatever tool you've got selected. So it's actually pretty easy to automate, like, making certain items in this game. And let's pick these up, put that away, put that away. Oh no, actually I needed that out. I always do that. Keep left clicking instead. So now we're going to teach this guy that he is going to find tree soil, and he is going to dig a hole. And then for now, we'll manually go and repeat that. So he's gonna, of course, go crazy now, so we'll give him, oops, dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now we'll do that to him, and we're going to... I do like you can actually trade with them from far away, which might be a little bit broken considering that if I can see him, I can trade with him. But, you know, that's not too big a deal. And so now we can pick up 4 seeds, so we're gonna go... And I guess... I didn't realize you actually right-click to plant, because I've never had to manually plant the seeds. Because I usually go opposite, actually. I usually start with... Uh-oh, and now you can see this guy's actually running out of battery. But I usually start with the replanting process. And so if we just come over and click on him, we shake him around, and I think that the reason that you do that is something about them having like a motor in them that it's like kinetic or something, and there's a reason behind it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. So now what we're going to make is we're going to make a seedling tray, and this basically will hold our little saplings, or our seeds, sorry. And I think I'm actually going to come move this and put these over here and then move this. So if you want to cancel something, all you do is do this. And I don't know how to actually delete structures. I don't know if that's in the game yet. So make sure that you know where you want something before you place it. Because the reason I'm putting this here, by the way, is then I can fit another simple floor over here. And I won't be on the grass. Because you can see cows eat grass and then they make manure or dung. And eventually we'll use this for something, but not right now. So let's, for real quick, make another robot. You're making planks. Or you're making poles, actually. 2, 3, 4. And we'll really quickly get another robot to collect these items that are laying all over. And so this part of the game is, you know, pretty tedious overall. But, it gets better. And I actually like, I think I said this, but you know, the devs have actually compared this to Factorio. And aside from the fact that you don't use conveyor belts, use robots instead of conveyor belts, I can easily see how they got that comparison. And so one thing we're going to do that I almost never did when I first started playing this game is we're actually going to have him pick up 4 of these at once. Oh. Okay, you come over here, and you are going to just forever. And then you're going to go, and then I'm going to stop you because I forgot that this wasn't built yet. So all I need is 4 planks. That's not too hard. We'll go shake up this guy. And now, that guy had a little clock over his head. That just means that he doesn't have anything to do. So you see, when these trees grew, he all of a sudden was like, oh, I know what to do now. But until the tree grows, he doesn't know what to do. Okay, so now we'll come pick up all 4 of these because we'll skip the step where we pick it up. Now we just teach this guy, take off the forever, and we're going to tell him to put in 4 of these. And now what we're going to do is we're going to edit this to make a little more sense. So it doesn't need to find the nearest seed and move to it every time. It doesn't need to move to here. Don't want it to drop all. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, and then it's going to add 4 things to the seedling tray, and then it's going to repeat. And our goal is we're going to try and program these guys in a way that we don't ever have to come edit their program. Because if I stop him and he's like holding 4 seeds, like this guy doesn't matter that much. He can work if he doesn't have 4 seeds. But later when we get into more complicated production chains, they'll get annoyed at you, and I'm going to stop you because I'm sick and tired of that sound. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab more logs, make a few more planks. Oops, clicked a little tiny bit too early. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make another robot to actually replant. And so after this, we will have kind of the entire process automated. Now, we won't be collecting anything, but the process will be automated. Crap. Didn't really want to do that. Okay, gotta remember to reset these, because I'm used to just having workers do everything, because I got it set up pretty fast when I started this game to automatically make me other robots. And that's our... For right now, that's kind of our stretch goal, is get a robot making other robots. And even though, it seems like we're pretty close, that is actually still a teeny tiny bit away. Just because we don't want to overwhelm him, because these robots aren't very smart. They can get really confused really easily, so we're going to teach this guy. And I think this will work where 4, and okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to try and be efficient about this, because, we don't really want it to take him a month to do anything. Okay, forever go. So now this guy will automatically replant, and then this guy can go and do that, and we will be good. So now what we're going to need is we're going to need just general storages, and these basically hold anything, I think. I don't actually know if you can store like axes and stuff in them. I haven't tried, but these are what we're going to need to use to build basically everything else. Or no, these are what we're going to use to store everything else. So we need some more planks. So we're gonna build another robot to go collect the logs, and then we'll have enough after that to make one to make poles and make one to make planks, and then after that I wish there were options, because there aren't any options for the sound. So if I am sick of hearing the cows chomp, I just have to turn down my own volume, which I don't think actually affects the audio for you guys. So I'd like to apologize if the cow munching gets annoying. But I can actually pick up cows and move them, but even if I do, even if I set them like over here, they'll just wander back and eat more grass and keep making that kind of annoying sound. Anyway, let's go put these in here. Okay, one in here. Do poles, because see, after a while you get used to the just repeating things, but at first, it can be a little bit hard to just automatically do actions like coming and loading the worker maker. But like I said, you get used to it after you've done it like 1,000 times. So now we're going to teach this guy. You will pick up 2 logs. And this is where we're going to have to get a little tricky with our programming, because I can only hold 1 log. That's not where you need to go to. So go here. And now we're going to need to do some serious editing. So go away, go away, go away, go away. Okay, go to general storage. Okay, take these out. Okay, that should be good. Go. And now you may wonder, well, what's the next robot we're going to do? Well, this should give you a hint, the thing I'm going over to do right now. Because I don't really ever want to have to go, help these guys shake them again. So we're going to work on, after we finish this part over here, we're going to work on getting a guy to go shake these other guys, and so we don't have to. Pick this up, put that in, get enough planks to make a new one. Okay. Uh-oh, someone broke a thing. Okay, you stop. I don't really want to take the time to fix you right now, because this will actually give us enough logs for what we need to do. And we'll cut up another one. I always forget, you can't click on this. You have to click on this to actually pick up a log, and I always forget that. And later we'll actually make these dedicated to just making other robots, or just making planks, sorry. That's what I meant to say, was just making planks. I don't know why I did that. I only need 1 to make into poles. Put that over there while it spits those out. Okay, pick up all 4 of them, please. Thank you. And now we'll give this guy a simple program. And if we wanted to be really efficient about this, we would have made 2. And then we'd teach 1 to go shake the other robots, and then we'd teach another one to do the same thing. Because when this guy dies, the entire production line will shut down. But as you might have guessed, we're running a little bit short on robots right now, so we need to just be efficient about how we use all of them. So we'll make a few of those. We need some more planks. Come on, I did right click on that, I know I did. And so now we can actually see this guy in action. So this guy's just about to die. And once he does, this guy's gonna go, whoop, I have a job. Okay, there he goes. So see, now he runs off to fix him. And I've actually seen it where you can zoom out all the way and you'll have stacks of items going into space if you don't design things right. And you can, of course, pick things up from impossible distances, because why not? Okay. And you need what? Crude? Okay, you need pretty well everything. I couldn't remember whether I'd already given that anything to do or not. Okay. Pick. I can see one. Oh no, that one's in my hand. I was like, I can see one. Why is it not picking it up? And then I was like, oh, I am not actually able to pick that one up. Okay, make another guy. And so now we're gonna pretty well make 2 guys in a row. And these guys are gonna do very, very similar jobs. Except I also realized we don't have enough space, so I need to make 2 more of these. And one thing I do think that the devs need to add in to this game that you can't do right now is you need to have workers that can automatically build stuff for you, like have one guy pick up logs, another guy pick up planks, another guy pick up poles, and then just automatically go to something. But currently, like, I've tried to automate it to make them build, like, my simple floors and stuff for me. And currently in the game, it doesn't appear to be possible unless I just wasn't trying to do it right. And this is another thing, is you can't build on yourself. So I always forget that, and I always stand right in the way. No, I need a bench saw, not that. And there we go. So I know we need 1 stone, which luckily we have. This is another part of the game where it gets interesting, where if you want to make too many of these, you might have to go exploring for some stone. And we do need another one of these. You can see, you know, everything is running all nice and dandy. 2, 3, does it take 4 of these? Yeah, it does, okay. I was going to say, if it doesn't take 4 of these, I'm going to be kind of embarrassed. And so I think, let me just check the time on this episode. It's hard to tell. Holy cow, it's already been 30 minutes. So, I'm going to actually call that an end to this episode. And, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you guys in the next episode where we'll start working on automating worker assembly. So, thank you guys for watching. My name is the Radman, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.